axle. And I put, we got little tabs welded on too. I put them on the back. Right here, they're underneath my block. I was going to get,
oh yeah.
They came with little fiberglass wheel or tracks, and they're terrible. They're always floppy.
Yeah.
And I put 2 pieces of flat stock this way. I was gonna get. I had one. I picked up one car jack.
Yeah.
The spare tire jack. You see one bigger tire.
Yeah.
So they're on all 4 corners. The old spare tire used to go here.
Yeah.
I'd recommend never putting it back. Get something you can buy, like even a Princess Auto. That's full. Through 2 plates, right? I actually went and took it. All my extra parts and stuff stand underneath. I can show you all the cushions and stuff too, but there's basically a U-bolt that went through the old, all your 12 volt, like your turn signals and all that stuff. Like I never touched anything going back through. Like it's all still there.
Yeah.
I'm an electrician by trade, so I was telling you everything.
Door open? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hinges.
This is where the old handle. Like I spent a whack of time trying to fit that in there. What I did was fill the front half, take spray foam, and fill it so I had something to go on the other side too, and then basically traced it out. It worked. It cleaned up pretty good. Like it's just rough there now, but I bet you spent 24 hours doing that in total. You get it to fit, and I ended up buying one of those little. There's actually a piece of wood in there originally.
I see.
Have to get something back in.
I see what you.
See, they were square windows with the radius corners. To get them, these windows I couldn't go in water because you didn't in your closet.
Right, right.
So I had to go taller, but you can only go so tall because then it starts to turn. It slopes.
Right.
So
you'd have to fill it with something.
Just these corners. Like I've already had the windows in every hole, like dry fit them.
Okay.
But you just like you know what I mean. They come like that, so you'd have to take a little bit of fiberglass and mat and stuff like that. And it's a little bit of massaging, but. Good thing with fiberglass.
How are they stuck in there? Just riveted?
The old ones are riveted on, but
yeah.
The new ones, they come with a gasket basically on the outside, and they screw together and sandwich.
Okay.
So I'll show them to you.
Fairly easy install then?
No, bunch of screws from the backside. As long as you got somebody to hold the outside pane. The rear windows I have the front and back. The old gaskets were rotten. I was going to get them plexiglass or Lexan made up.
Okay.
But these are the old ones, just for a template.
Oh, they just like the original was plexi?
The original ones, yeah, they're plexiglass.
All right.
In it. But the old mold ones, like it leaked like a sieve.
Yeah.
The weather stripping dried out so much when it got to the seam, it spread apart. And I think the front one was over 3/4 of an inch. So, and I tried caulking it with marine grade caulk, and then just when we were reusing it. I got so sick of stuff being patched together, that's when I wanted to restore it. So. The old furnace in here, I started patching it. The furnace was non-repairable. That's the old hole for there was a holding tank for water.
Okay.
The faucet was a pump.
Yeah.
So it just needs, anyways.
You got the holding tank? The
no,
fresh water? It's all rotten.
It was when I have pictures I can probably show you on our old computer. I bought it off an old lady in the trailer park. She used it, and the deal was when I bought it, it wasn't for sale, but when I took everything in it, and I bet I spent $100 at the dump. What she had in it. Your electrical little door here with this cord pulls out.
Okay.
That's where that was.
You got the hardware lids and stuff for that?
They're only like $5-6 for the actual little plastic. Like it's just a plastic thing, and one's your hose, like you hook up your water. It was just cold water. That's all it had, and then the other one was just a flap. It was actually a. Where is all that stuff? Sorry,
oh, okay. Yeah.
But that was the old water tank that you'd fill from. Yeah. That went over where I filled the hole. That goes back in there for the electrical. It's just basically the
probably all kind of stock pieces you could just get new.
And that was 1/4-inch flared line that went up to the faucet.
Oh, okay.
I bought all this brand new one. I did it over the phone, and that's the drain for your sink. You just hook a hose on it. There's no wastewater. It's just water. The sink and stuff's here. What else? I have all the panels. Like there was a 3-way fridge. So anytime we ever went, we went to a spot where we'd just rent a powered site anyways. Like we always went to the national parks. Like, it's not like we were pulling into a 50-foot motorhomes or anything, but at least you had water and lights was the big thing.
You need all that.
But I bought all new 12-volt lights for this one on the front and back. New strip light.
You got a sink for it, of course?
Yeah, sink. That's where the old cooktop went. I still have the cooktop. It's in pretty rough shape. I was
Is
never
that sink there?
Yeah, that's the sink, sorry. That's the sink there and the faucet. I was just going to get
cool.
a single, just a regular old faucet. I want to take and put a piece of butcher block and just cover the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Just make a surface.
We never cooked. We never used the stove.
No.
It was so hot, you'd cook yourself inside of it in the middle of the summer. If you're planning on using it in the fall and spring,
good for heating the
probably
place.
cook and stuff, but there was a little window there with that range hood, the little metal range hood
Yeah,
at the bottom of the cupboard, but I took it out because you don't need it. I wasn't going to put the stove back in myself.
Okay.
Just a barbecue and a propane. We had a propane stove that we used camping. It was more of a glorified tent.
Yeah.
What we used it for.
Yeah, I got a 15-foot trailer, which I just sold. Just too big. Can't haul it with our car, but
I have all the.
hoping this will be lighter.
I have all the wood panels and stuff. They were just MDF.
So,
They're in the basement. I can show you the windows and all the cushions and stuff.
is there a bunk set up for this?
Yeah, I have all the parts.
You do, eh?
Basically the couch.
It sits up here.
It sits on hinges. It's screwed right here on the back.
Okay.
Fold up. You can see those 2 little holes that were there.
Oh, yeah.
So you flip it up, and they were just like a little collar that screwed down, and then you put 2 metal poles in, and they locked in the front of the bed.
Okay.
So then you had the bottom, and the top was the bunk part. I had all that stuff in the basement. I never threw anything out. That was I never knew what I was going to do.
What are
a
all
lot
these?
of people turn these into a dinette and leave that as a bed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
So you
put a
can.
little table and you sit there. But
Yeah.
what were you asking?
Actually, now that I see that insert.
That was actually
If
for
that was
a
only ever-
toilet. For a
Oh, toilet or something.
yeah, a
Interesting.
chemical toilet. I don't know why anybody would want it and something like this. I
Well, you
guess
can buy them now with the showers in here, eh?
Yeah.
So,
Did you ever
Pretty-
try to price a new one?
oh yeah, like US they're 20 grand, I think.
Scale.
I mean they're sweet. I guess
Oh,
Scamp
yeah.
is the new company,
Yeah.
but
There's actually-
really cool
there's
stuff.
a Canadian made one out of BC, I think. Escape.
Size.
They had no floor. I forget what year this was made. The older models, they basically the shell was sat on top of the wood floor. And this is this year they molded them all together. There's probably one crack between 2 layers of fiberglass. It's dirty there now. I haven't touched it. Well, I haven't used it for 3 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll get mildew no matter how you store it or how much ventilation. It's almost as but it cleans up. Every year we used it, we had to clean it with tile
Oh, okay.
replace them. The heat when they get so hot on the inside would
Yeah.
shrink
Cooked, eh?
and make it look like an accordion almost.
Oh yeah.
And I just peeled it off and never ever.
I saw one guy, he just puts. That's for sound deadening and a bit of insulation, I suppose. Fascinating. There's a bit of plywood here, so I guess there's plywood underneath this, eh?
The original way it was fastened, there's 4 bolts on each corner, and then they went and they had
Is that a battleship? Yeah.
they took 3-inch self-tapping hex screws,
Yeah.
But they went to, and every one I tried back and it would spin. So I'd take a small hole saw
Yeah.
and cut out around the hole because it would
Take
spin
the plug
the
out?
wood and then basically just grind it off.
Right.
It was the only way I could get the frame and the body separated because
Right.
it would still, it would spin the head off, but the threads on the screw were still stuck to the wood.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it apart.
Right.
So that was the only way I could do it. That's why I put the self-tapping screws back in similar spots where they were. Like they went down through the frame. We tapped right through the steel. So.
These bolts are onto the frames.
These corners there, you can see the plate where the bigger washers are.
Yeah.
There's a plate, a piece of flat stock that goes off the frame itself.
Oh, okay.
4 bolts in each corner. And then the rest, they went right down the frame rails with the self-tapping screws. Go ahead, everyone, just pull them. Probably just
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, that's a
not much to do.
breaker box.
The big one.
So the furnace was in here?
Furnace went there.
I don't think I'd have any need for a furnace, to be honest, but
Need a furnace, but I guess it's popular for winterizing. Sink went here. There was a furnace, and it was vented straight out the back. And basically, this was I was just going to make a cupboard door, or
Right.
one big cupboard door, and cut that out and have more storage. Basically,
Right.
fridge sat here.